coming off a 2-0 sweep, and we got a nice 11-game slate. Let's talk some basketball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we're back to talk some more NBA. That's right, nice start to the week for us. 2 half-unit plays, 2 winners on what was a really ugly 4-game slate. But we got 11 NBA Cup games to get into, so let's get right into it. Before we start, OUTLIER, as you guys know, any graphics you see on this video or any other video are from an app called OUTLIER, the best player prop research tool on the market today. If you want to try it out, click the link below. 7-day free trial. A ton of people have signed up and they absolutely love it. It's really helped them, and I think every bettor really needs that long-term tool to kind of help them save time and find some stuff that they wouldn't find otherwise. So anyways, click that link below for OUTLIER, but let's get into it. And that means it's dad joke time. Here we go. My wife has banned me from making any more breakfast puns. She said if I make any more, I'm toast. But my kids keep egging me on. Not bad. In this video, we're going to recap yesterday that 2-0 sweep, and then it's Tuesday, so we're going to talk the shooting guard position, defenses that gave up the most points, rebounds, and assists, as well as the least amount of points, rebounds, and assists to the shooting guard position. And then we'll finish it with the best bets and the bets recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to continue to help this channel to grow. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button as we're on our way to 34,000 subscribers. All right, let's get into it. And that means it's recap time. All right, there it is. A nice 2-0 sweep. Josh Giddey over 11.5 rebounds, assists. Absolutely crushed it. Had over 20. Had a triple-double. Gotta love it. And then Jalen Johnson over 4.5 assists. This one was the sweaty one. That's right. He had 4 assists in the fourth quarter, and he got one, I think, in the last, 4 or 5 minutes of the game or something to get that 5th one, and no stat correction. Gotta love that. But there's the under tracker. No change there because we didn't have any unders. But a nice 2-0 day, even though they were half units. We are now 83 and 58. Up 14.8 units on the year, so let's keep this rolling. But before we get to those best bets, let's talk the shooting guard position. All right, we start out with the defenses giving up the most points to the shooting guard position, and if these videos look a little different, I'm not in the corner, all that. Ryan is gone today, so I am going to be recording and editing, so bear with me on that one. But here we go. These 10 defenses that are giving up the most, anything highlighted in green are the teams or players that are actually playing. They just don't have a matchup, but we got a lot of matchups. 11-game slate. Kings facing Jalen Green of the Rockets. Kings giving up 25.7 points per game to the shooting guard. Jalen Green averaging around 19. And then Wizards facing Donovan Mitchell. We know how good he is. Wizards giving up 25.5 points. And then the Blazers facing Norman Powell, who I do believe is questionable, so just be on alert to check for that. But he's averaging 23.6. Blazers giving up almost 25. And then 76ers to Brandon Miller. And then Jazz are not playing anybody, but they are giving up 24.6. So Anthony Edwards not playing today, is averaging the most points by quite a bit in the shooting guard position. Kyrie Irving, I know you guys saw him yesterday on Monday. Luka's back, so now he's a shooting guard. I mean, again, these positions change so much nowadays in basketball, but just want to point that out in case you're wondering why he is here now. But that's the shooting guard and the points. Take a screenshot. Now let's move over to the rebounds. We got only 2 matchups. A lot of teams playing, though, but Grizzlies facing Kyrie Irving right there. Kyrie averaging 4.8 rebounds per game. And then the 76ers giving up 7, playing Brandon Miller, who is averaging 5.3 rebounds per game. As you can see, in limited time, but Desmond Bane averaging 6.4 rebounds per game is the leader. And then the Thunder giving up the most, the only one over 8 rebounds per game to the shooting guard position. So take a screenshot. Hopefully that helps. Now let's go to the assists. And we got 2 matchups. Grizzlies, again, facing Kyrie Irving, 5.6 assists per game. Again, some of those are because he was point guard, but for the most part, he's played shooting guard this whole year. And then the Mavericks hosting, again, the Grizzlies. Desmond Bane averaging 3.9 assists. Mavericks giving up 5.5. And then there's all the rest. Denver Nuggets blowing everyone out of the water, giving up 7.1 assists to the shooting guard position. So those are all the good matchups. Hopefully these help you get some winners today and through the week. Now let's check out the bad matchups. And here we go. So any team highlighted in green, those are the teams that are playing today, which is practically everybody. But the Pistons are giving up the fewest points per game to the shooting guard position, along with the Thunder, Nets, Clippers, Rockets, so on and so on. And speaking of the Nets, they're right there, number 1, giving up the fewest rebounds per game to the shooting guard position, with the Pacers, Kings, Knicks, and Lakers. And then we got the Heat, Clippers, Hornets, Rockets, and Pistons top 5 in not allowing the assists to the shooting guard position. So again, these are all here to help you, to be a part of your handicap, to help with your bets. I always recommend just using it as a part of your handicap, not just making only these bets because of it. But these are all the matchups for the shooting guard, and now it is time for the best bets. All right, this first one takes us out to Detroit, Michigan, where the Pistons host the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks -4. Total in this game is 223.5. My best bet is a player prop. It's an over on a guy who we're 1-1 on this year. So give me Jaden Ivey over 23.5 PRAs at -115 on Bet365 for 1 unit. He's a guy I've bet on twice, and he's been in foul trouble like in the first 5 minutes of both games. He better not even think about fouling this game. But guards have absolutely dominated Milwaukee. Now let's talk about Jaden Ivey, though. He's a guy who could go over this in points alone. This season, he's averaging 27.1 PRAs per game, over in 13 of 21. And with Cade Cunningham on the court, it's actually been a higher hit rate. 11 of 17 games, averaging 27.24 PRAs. He's a guy who's also averaging 18 RA chances. So he's given himself a lot of opportunities for rebounds and for assists, along with about 15 field goal attempts per game. That matchup, as long as he's not completely ice cold, should get us there, in my opinion, especially with this matchup. Because you saw it earlier, the Bucks defense has struggled against shooting guards and really all guards in general. They have given up the 4th most points and the 3rd most rebounds to the shooting guard position. I added assists because he only needs 4 dimes to break even with the points and rebounds line. With Cade, he has 4+ dimes in 12 of 17 games, averaging 8.5 potential assists. He actually has 5+ assists in 6 straight games with Cade, so I think assists could actually be a help here. But the Bucks really struggle in transition. If you don't know the Bucks, you've seen them struggle in transition all year. They're a bottom 8 defense. Ivy is a guy who is very fast, lightning quick, and can get up and down the court and loves to score in transition. They're also, if you watch Milwaukee, they're a team that likes to give up a lot of good looks from deep. They go under screens. They pack the paint. Their goal is to protect the paint. That allows the guards to eat against them, that's for sure, especially shooting threes. I think Ivy's going to get a lot of good looks in this game. Now, just recently, some shooting guards versus Milwaukee. How about Jordan Poole, 42 PRAs. Brandon Miller, 46 PRAs. Jalen Green, 32 PRAs. They've given up some huge games to guards. And again, we only need 24. We're not asking for a ton here. I think we just need an average game from Jaden Ivey and a great matchup for him to go over. So give me Mr. Ivey over 23.5 PRAs as my first best bet. All right, the second one takes us out to Toronto, Canada, where the Raptors are hosting the Indiana Pacers. Pacers -1.5. Total in this game is 240. My best bet is an under. Give me Tyrese Halliburton under 27.5 points plus assists at -110 on BetMGM. This is a 1-unit play for me. Halliburton's had a rough season so far, especially on the road. My goodness, on the road this year, how about under 9 of 11 games, averaging only 20.09 PAs on the road? That's right, 20 PAs on the road, and we have a 27.5 line. He's only taken 12.5 field goals per game on the road, shooting they have ridiculously bad, 32% from the field, 22% from the three-point line. It's just been all bad, and now we have a matchup. It's tougher than you think on him. The Raptors just flat out do not allow assists to the point guard position. Davion Mitchell and these boys put some lockdowns on these assists. They've allowed the fewest assists per game to the point guard position in the entire league at 6.5. 13 fewest points to the point guard position as well. So it's not a good matchup really all around at all. I don't know what I'm saying. But for Halliburton, Raptors also a top 10 defense defending the three ball. I don't think they're going to give him a ton of good looks. Halliburton already faced Toronto earlier there, and that was on the road. He had 20 PAs, 16 points, and 4 dimes. He only had 10 potential assists in that game. I also like just the under 9.5 assists on its own if you want to take that. But Halliburton's going to have to have a way above average game on the road here in a very tough matchup. I think this line is a couple too high, to be honest with you. If you can only get 26.5 by the time you watch this video, I still like it there. Obviously, it's Halliburton. It's always possible all of a sudden he gets hot out of nowhere. But I will take my chances, that's for sure. So give me Hallie under 27.5 points plus assists as my second best bet. All right, this third one takes us out to Dallas, Texas, where the Mavericks host the Memphis Grizzlies. Mavs -4. Total is 242. We're going with another under. Give me the PJ Washington under 15.5 points plus assists at -120 on Bet365. The big deal here and why I like him so much is that, well, Kyrie and Luka are on the court. That's important. So as you can tell by this outlier screenshot right here, he is under an 8 of 9 games with those two guys in the lineup. And not just that, he's averaging 9.22 points plus assists in those 9 games. That's not anywhere near 15.5. He's averaging only 8.6 field goal attempts and 2 potential assists per game with those two guys. And also when those two guys are playing, he really only has 2 jobs. If you watch Mavericks games, PJ Washington's going to try to grab some rebounds, which doesn't matter here because we got points and assists, and he's just going to spot up ready to shoot, whether it's corners or anywhere else. He just wants to shoot a few times, but again, he's not going to have the field goal attempts, in my opinion. The matchup here, now the Grizzlies play fast. That's the one thing here. That's why you're going to see a high total. But still, I think this line has it baked in there because this line is too high, in my opinion. The Grizzlies also allow the 5th lowest field goal percentage to spot-up shooters. They're a good defense overall. They're top 5, allowing only a 34.1% three-point percentage to their opponents. They're average when you just look at categories versus the power forwards. But again, this power forward is just not asked to do much. He's just asked to stand there and grab some rebounds. On top of that, Klay Thompson may be coming back. I mean, obviously takes even more usage and probably see even less field goal attempts from PJ Washington. So overall, just less usage, less volume here when you have a healthy Mavs team. He's had 9 or less PAs, points and assists, in 6 of the 9 games with Luka and Kyrie playing. That's just absolutely crazy to me. He would need to be doing this on limited shots. I mean, he would really need to be absolutely on fire from three-point range and hitting every shot. Or maybe he gets more volume than I think because of how the defense is playing. But how the defense is played and how PJ has played with Kyrie and Luka out there, he's just not going to have the ball in his hands very much in this one. So give me Pajamas under 15.5 points plus assists. That is my third and final best bet on this video. There will be more in the morning. It's already close to midnight here as I got to edit with Ryan out and everything. So you're going to get 3 bets. And again, we're going to add at least a few more in the morning. So check the pinned comments, check X, and check Discord. So before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. All right, there it is, the 3 bets so far. Jaden Ivey over 23.5 PRAs for a unit. Tyrese Halliburton under 27.5 PAs for another unit. And then we end with PJ Washington under 15.5 points plus assists for another 1 unit play. Again, more plays will be added in the morning on X, on Discord, and in the pinned comments below. Let's have a great day. Thank you guys for the support. As always, I appreciate it. Hope everyone has a great Tuesday, and we'll talk to you soon.